You're back in the Big Z Show. Okay, guys, we have a huge celebrity interview. A huge celebrity interview. Once again, we have Amber Lee, Obama Girl, on the Derek Z Show via Skype. Yes, via Skype. And let me tell you a little bit about Amber. She has actually, she started her career in modeling, and she went to FIT, Fashion Institute and Technology. She decided to go there when she was really young, and that's really good. She's doing good in life. So let me tell you a little bit about Obama Girl. Obama Girl was actually a music video filmed in New York City.
Thank all of you for your time, your suggestions, your encouragement, and your prayers. And I look forward to continuing our conversation in the weeks and months to come.
Hey B, it's me. If you're there, pick up. I was just watching you on C-SPAN. Anyway, call me back. You seem to float onto the floor. Democratic Convention 2004. I never wanted anybody more than I wanted you. So I put down my carry sign. Knew I had to make you mine. Smile black and sexy, you're so fine. Cause I gotta cry. Obama, wait till 2008. Baby, you're the best candidate. I like it when you get hot on Hillary in debate. Won't you pick up your phone? Cause I gotta cry.
Okay, guys, you can check that video out on any website, on her website, amberleeonline.com. So check that out. It's a great video. So now let's get to the interview with Amber.
So hi Amber, thank you for joining us on the Derek Z Show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So Amber, can you tell us a little bit about how you started like in the media field and like what age did you start at actually?
What age did I start at, or what age should anyone start at?
Both. What age did you start at and what age should people start at?
Well, I started out doing like modeling and all that kind of stuff, modeling and dance at a very young age. I think I was 3 years old when I was in my first little beauty pageant. And then I was in dance classes and cheerleading and sports. And then I knew when I was about 13 or 14 that I wanted to go to FIT, which is the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. So, well, when I got accepted to FIT, that was one of the happiest days of my life. But while I was in school, that's when I started doing more of the full-time professional modeling and acting. And then I would say I was doing it after graduation, and then about we're going on 3.5 years now, is when the whole Obama Girl thing came about, and that kind of blew up, and that's when I got really thrust into the media.
Yeah. So, who came up with the idea? Did you come up with the idea about being Obama Girl?
I didn't actually. The creation was made by Ben Rellis, and he came up with the whole idea. He came up with the song. He had a girl named Leah Kaufman sing it, and because she was a student, they needed someone to kind of perform the song and do the whole little song and dance. So Ben found me online. He saw my website, Amber Lee Online, and he was like, I have this funny project. And at the time, I was like, oh, I can't, I'm in Barcelona. I was shooting a swimsuit catalog. I'm like, I can't meet you. I'm busy. And he's like, oh, well, I'll wait for you to come back. So we ended up meeting at a Starbucks.
Oh, wow.
And he pitched me the idea. And I was like, this is so fun. Like, this is great. I knew who Obama was. I saw him on Oprah. And I was like, this song is amazing. It's, like, so catchy. And I can act like a cheesy little pop star singing with my Mariah Carey moves. So I said I'd do it, but I had no idea what I got myself into.
I know, it blew up. Like, for example, you've been on many different types of TV networks. Can you tell me, like, what the process is to be getting on these shows? Like, how do you get ready for it, for example?
I didn't ever get the opportunity to get ready for it. When the video was launched, it got picked up by Jake Tapper on ABC. And next thing you know, someone, they had written a little article about it, and then all the media picked up on it. And the next morning, my house phone rang off the hook because they found out, who's this crazy girl singing about Obama? We need to find her. Next, that morning, my house phone was ringing off the hook, and it was every news station in New York wanting to send someone to come pick me up to get me on the station.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I wasn't prepared at all. I was thrust into this media/political spotlight, and it was kind of surreal. It was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, so you were on, like, Saturday Night Live. For example, how do you get on those shows? Do you have, like, an agent or a manager that deals with all this media?
I do have managers and agents that I've all been working with from the beginning of my acting career. So actually none of them have anything to do with the Obama Girl scenario. So everything that comes in goes right to the people that created Obama Girl. And then at the time when Obama Girl was huge, we had our own little set of publicists that assisted in, go here, go there. So they got in contact with them, or they contacted me directly on my website or my house phone.
So, are you working on anything right now? Like any magazine shoots? Shows?
Yes. Well, I'm constantly auditioning and working on my craft of acting, but I'm doing a lot of hosting. I'm actually working as a news correspondent for Pix 11. I just got done covering Fashion Week and Comic-Con for them. So Pix 11 is the CW, so it's really exciting to be with them. And I actually am starting a new show. It's like a gossip show. I'm going to be a co-host on HDNet. What else am I doing? I'm working on a book. I have my jewelry line, inspiredbyamber.com. This is not one of my pieces, though. I actually got this at a garage, well, not a garage sale, at the flea markets in the city.
Oh, wow.
It's Egyptian beads. I'm so excited. It's like vintage. I love vintage. What else? Working on commercials, the book, the news. Yeah, I'm keeping pretty busy.
Oh, wow. So, you came out with a song called, can you tell us the name of that?
My own album, Second Time,
Yeah.
Queen of the Web.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I signed with a little indie label to come out with a few songs, and it was a really, really fun experience. Unfortunately, the label isn't really doing much now, so it kind of got pushed to the side. So I only came out with about 2, I'd say a remix, so it's like 2.5 songs on the album. But it was definitely fun. We shot the music video, and I enjoyed it, but we're not really pushing that right now, unfortunately.
Right. So, you mentioned Barely Political in the beginning, but, can you tell us, do you still do, video shoots for them?
I actually just did one last week, and I don't know if I should mention what it is yet, because it's probably supposed to be a surprise, but it's another parody on a really popular TV show. So we shot it last week. It was so much fun. I can't wait to see it. But that's actually the first time I've shot something for Barely Political in a really, really long time. So it was fun to be back.
Yeah. So, have you been to any red carpet events within these months that you've been really busy?
Yeah, I was just at one for breast cancer awareness at a place called RDB in the city, and it was a super trash event, and I did the red carpet for that. And prior to that, I've been on quite a few. It's been, whenever I have the chance to go out. I used to go out a lot more, but being so busy, it's kind of hard to be doing the late night things.
Yeah. So can you tell us, the experience on the red carpet when you have all those flashes and cameras, taking pictures of you, so fast? Can you tell us the experience that you've, gone through with these?
It's definitely an adrenaline rush. I could be the most tired girl ever, and when I get onto that carpet in front of those cameras, I just spring to life. So I can only compare to a huge adrenaline rush, after you drink a Red Bull, you're like, woo! I just get excited. I love cameras. I love it. It's fun. It's nerve-wracking, don't get me wrong, but it's super exciting.
Yeah. So, are you, you talked about your jewelry line and with your mom. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how that began, and, who came up with the idea of that?
Yeah, it's actually such a really cute story. When I was 3 or 4, my mom started a jewelry line called Inspired by Amber. And when I was that little, I used to sit at the dining room table with her and help her pick out beads. And, Mommy, put these with this, and I'd tell her. So she started she was really only making earrings back then. We lived in Kentucky, and she would sell them to boutiques in Kentucky. And then she got busy. She started writing books. My mom's a vintage clothing, jewelry, and all that good stuff collector. She also writes books about it. So she stopped doing that, had some more kids, and we kind of, you know, the jewelry line fell to the wayside. So just me being a fashion design student and a graduate and wanting to be in fashion, just a few years ago, I'm like, Mom, we know we want to do something together. Why don't we do the jewelry line together? Like, we have all the opportunities, we have all the resources, everything we need, so let's do it. And we launched it last year, and it's very small. It's just me and her right now, and everything we make is handmade, one of a kind, vintage with new. So we take, you know, beads from the 1920s and pair them up with new beads from today and make these really beautiful statement necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. And we're actually gonna debut it in a department store in the city in the next month. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah, that's so exciting. So
Yeah.
Amber, where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
Oh boy. I used to know that question, but the past few months, I actually decided that I want to move to California. So my whole plan of everything has changed. California was a place that I knew if I really wanted to focus on acting, I needed to get my butt out there.
Right.
And in the past few months, it's actually something that really was like, all right, it's time for you to go. So I see myself bi-coastal, working on acting and working on great movies and having my whole fashion empire be very successful.
That's exciting. So what would you tell people that want to get into the media / modeling field? What would you give them for an example how to get through all of this pressure that you've been through?
Well, it's great to have yourself be surrounded by people that you trust and people that have your best interests, and that goes for being, you know, doing a YouTube video or going on a photo shoot as, you know, doing some modeling. It goes for both. So you have to really surround yourself with really smart people and people that have your best interest. And definitely you have to, you know, they say you're not an expert at something until you've done about 10,000 hours worth of practice in it. So I say, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, keep doing it. It's not going to just come and fall in your lap. Like, it's very hard to be that lucky. So if you want to do something, you better keep practicing and set your sights, you know, really high, and hopefully your dreams come true.
Yeah. All right, Amber, thank you for joining us on the Derek Z Show.
Thanks so much for having me. You're awesome.
Thank you, Amber. We hope we can do another interview with you soon. I hope you can be a guest on my show a lot. So we hope we can go via Skype with you again too. So stay tuned on the Derek Z Show.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna